Delaware is a fascinating state with beautiful landmarks and rich history. I traveled to Washington, D.C. last year and discovered that history is filled with excitement. When I came home, I became obsessed with the musical Hamilton, which takes place during the Revolutionary War. I chose Delaware because it played a big part in the Revolutionary War, and it was the first state to ratify the Constitution. Delaware was founded because the Dutch were fighting freedom from Spain, so they wanted an American colony as a military outpost. They hired English explorer Henry Hudson, and he discovered what is now Delaware Bay. Another important part of Delaware's history is the Indian tribe Lenape, who lived in New Jersey, New York, and parts of Pennsylvania. They lived in unique domes that were made from barks and sticks, which were found from Delaware's forest. One of the things I found most interesting was the Battle of Trenton, which happened during the Revolutionary War. America was losing the war, and George Washington thought the troops needed a win to lift their spirits. On Christmas night, during a snowstorm, 2,400 men crossed the Delaware River to attack the Hessians, who fought with the British. The surprise attack worked, and the Americans defeated the Hessians. If you were in the Northeast, specifically Maryland, Pennsylvania, or New Jersey, you might want to visit Delaware because those are its bordering states. Delaware is the second smallest state in just 2,500 square miles. The smallest part of Delaware is only 9 miles wide. Delaware has 4 distinct seasons. In winter, it's snowy and cold, averaging 32 degrees Fahrenheit. In spring, it's mild and cold, normally around 69 degrees. If you like hot and humid, summer's the time to go, with temperatures averaging 77 degrees. If I would want to go in fall, which is mild and cold, and normally around 62 degrees. During the warmer days in fall, I would go ride my bike all around the city to see all the pretty leaves that have changed colors. One reason Delaware is so beautiful is because of all of its water and striking landforms. Delaware's sandbars, dunes, pine forests, jagged coastlines, rolling hills, and rivers all make it a great place to live and visit too. Delaware has many bodies of water, but one of the most famous ones is the Delaware River. 77 million people drink water from it every day. Delaware Bay is a famous body of water, which is gorgeous. The last body of water is huge and borders 4 continents. Can you guess what it is? It's the Atlantic Ocean. Materials like quartzite, marble, and brandywine blue granite are all found in Delaware's nature. Soybeans, corn, potatoes, and peas are the main crops grown in Delaware's farms. Fishing is a big industry in Delaware because of all its water surrounding it. Animals raised for food are also chickens, crabs, and fish. Delaware manufactures automobiles, chemicals, food and paper products, and rubber. DuPont, Hercules, and Syngenta are 3 of Delaware's biggest companies. If I was visiting Delaware, I wouldn't want to miss 3 fascinating places. The first place I would want to go to is Fort Delaware. You get there by boat because it is on Pea Patch Island. Dressed up tour guides welcome you to this historical fort, which has water surrounding it. A moat leads up to the fort, which has huge granite walls around it. They built this fort to keep Confederate soldiers prisoners during the Civil War. Even with its enormous walls and water surrounding it, prisoners still escape. Next, I would visit the Amsel House, built in the 1730s by a wealthy landowner named John Finney. The house had many important visitors because of its beautiful architecture. Delaware's Declaration of Independence signers went to the house to meet friends. George Washington went to the parlor too. Another place I would want to go is the Newcastle Courthouse. Thomas Garrett and John Hinn were famous abolitionists who were found guilty here for helping slaves escape through the Underground Railroad. Some other important places in Delaware are Dover, Delaware's state capital, which is on the St. Johns River near the center of the state. Other major cities are Wilmington, Newcastle, and Middletown. Delaware became the first state to join the Union on December 7th, 1787. My mom's birthday is on December 5th. I'm not sure why she got mad when I told her she was 2 days older than Delaware. Delaware's current population is 970,000 people, but 100 years ago, the population was just 220,000. Based on having beaches and being near big cities, these are possible reasons for the increase of the population. John Carney is Delaware's governor. Delaware only has one U.S. state representative, which is the lowest number possible. Come on, Delaware! The state senators are Thomas Carper and Chris Coons. Let me tell you about some other famous Delawareans. First, one is Pierre S. DuPont, who donated millions of dollars to public schools, and especially African American schools. Next is Thomas Garrett, who I've already told you a little bit about. Remember, he's a famous abolitionist. He helped 2,700 slaves escape through the Underground Railroad, and he was convicted of helping slaves by the U.S. Supreme Court. He was fined and became bankrupt at the age of 60. Some African Americans protected his home from pro-slavery people during the Civil War. When he died, his wish was to have African Americans carry his casket to his grave. A popular person throughout America is Delawarean Joe Biden. He was a U.S. Delaware Senator from 1972 to 2008 and was elected Vice President for Obama in 2008. Delaware's state motto is Liberty and Independence, which is no surprise because Delaware valued liberty and showed great independence by being the first state. The first state is Delaware's nickname because it was the first state to ratify the Constitution. Delaware's state flower is the beautiful peach blossom, which has large pink blooms. Has anyone heard of Beyonce? Well, the peach blossom has nothing to do with her. Delaware's state flag has a blue background surrounded by a diamond-shaped coat of arms. Below the diamond is the date that they ratified the Constitution, December 7th, 1787. The colonial blue represents what George Washington wore in the Revolutionary War. During the Revolutionary War, people thought Delaware soldiers were the best in the Continental Army. People compared them to fighting blue hens, which is Delaware's state bird, the blue hen. Delaware has many state animals, including the horseshoe crab, the gray fox, and the weakfish. Delaware has the most horseshoe crabs in all of the beaches of America. The gray fox is native to Delaware, and the weakfish is a big part of Delaware's fishing industry. My favorite of Delaware's official state items is the state dog, which is the golden retriever. I like that Delaware played a big part in the Revolutionary War. Also, Delaware was one of the main states that was involved with the Underground Railroad. Delaware is a beautiful place to visit or live because of its long shorelines, streams, rivers, and beautiful beaches. This fascinating place is also rich with history. 3 things everyone should remember about Delaware are: it was the first state, Delawareans played a crucial part in the Revolutionary War, and Delaware is home to some of the most famous abolitionists who helped with the Underground Railroad. Most importantly, remember, Beyonce has nothing to do with the peach blossom.